Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone. My name is BINTI My metric number is 2023870456 and I will start the presentation with the background of study. This study focuses on green products, which are good design, produced and disposed of in ways that minimize environmental impact. They use eco-friendly material, sustainable processes and recyclable or biodegradable packaging. In Malaysia and globally, environmental awareness has been rising due to climate change and pollution. Among Malaysians, young consumers are especially leading the shift from 2018 to 2023. Green consumerism in Malaysia grew by 20%, mainly in urban areas. A 2023 survey shows that 74% of Malaysian consumers prefer green and organic products, with millennials at the forefront prioritizing health and environmental concerns over price. Additionally, the Department of Statistics Malaysia 2021 found that more than 30% of urban consumers choose green product when shopping. The Malaysian government supports this shift through policies like the National Green Purchasing Policy, which incentivizes green production and consumption and raises public awareness. Looking ahead, Malaysian green product market is expected to grow by 7% annually until 2025. As a result, businesses are increasingly investing in green alternative and sustainable innovation. Because young consumers are key drivers of these trends, this study aims to explore what's motivate their intention to buy green product. By understanding these factors, businesses and policymakers can better encourage sustainable consumptions and promote environmental protection.
Assalamualaikum, my name is YASIRAH binti RUSLI. Now I will explain about problem statement in our research. In recent years, environmental sustainability has become a central focus in Malaysia, particularly under the 12th Malaysia Plan 2021 until 2025, which emphasized the development of a low carbon economy and promote environmentally responsible consumption. And at the same time, Generation Z, individuals born between 1997 and 2012, are becoming increasingly exposed to environmental issues through social media, education, and global awareness campaign. So, green products which are designed to reduce environmental harm through the use of sustainable material, energy efficiency, and waste reduction are now widely accessible in Malaysia across various sectors, including personal care, household items, and consumer goods. Despite this increased availability and awareness, there remain a significant issue. Young Malaysia often do not translate their environmental consciousness into actual purchasing behavior. Green products which are designed to reduce environmental harm through the use of sustainable materials, energy efficiency and waste reduction are now widely accessible in Malaysia across various sectors, including personal care, household items and consumer goods. Despite this increased availability and awareness, there remains a significant issue like young Malaysians often do not translate their environmental consciousness into actual purchasing behavior. This phenomenon, known as the attitude-behavior gap, reflects a disconnect between what young consumers believe and what they do. Research, including findings from RUSLI et al., show that even among educated youth, awareness of green product remain low and actual intention to buy is inconsistent. In other words, while many young Malaysians express concern for the environment, their shopping habits do not reflect this concern, thereby reducing the impact of both marketing strategies and sustainability policies aimed at promoting green consumption. Most existing studies on green purchasing behavior have been conducted in Western contexts, such as the United States and Europe, where consumer culture and environmental engagement differ significantly from Malaysia. Therefore, there is a need to understand what drives or inhibits green purchasing, specifically among Malaysian youth. So, our study focuses on 4 key factors that may help explain this gap. The first is support from environmental protection, which refer to how strongly a consumer believes in the importance of protection the environment. And the second is environmental responsibility, or to extend to which individuals feel personally accountable for contributing to sustainability. The third factor is green perceived benefit, such as perceived saving, health advantage, or improved social image from buying green product. Lastly, we examine green future estimation, which refer to consumer abilities to link their current purchasing decision to long-term environmental outcomes. By exploring these four variables, this study aims to better understand the psychological, practical, and future-oriented factors that influence young consumers in Malaysia. Ultimately, this research will help bridge the gap between intention and behavior and provide insight for businesses, educators, and policymakers to improve the effectiveness of green product campaign and also sustainable development initiative targeted at the youth demographic.
Moving on to the research objective of these studies. The main objective of our research is to investigate the factors that influence green product buying decision among young consumers in Kota Baru, Kelantan. To achieve this, we have set of 3 specific objectives. The first one is to identify the factors that influence young consumer decision to purchase green product. The second one is to examine which factors are the most critical in affecting this purchase decision. And lastly, the third one is to determine the barriers that prevent young consumers from consistently choosing green product. Next, we outline the research questions that guide our study. To meet the objective above, we address the following questions, which is number 1, what are the factors influencing young consumer decision to purchase green products? Second, which factors are most critical in shaping this decision? And lastly, the third one is what barriers discourage young consumers from purchasing green product? By answering this question, we hope to gain a deeper understanding of young consumer behavior towards green products that provide valuable insights for businesses and policymakers aiming to promote sustainable consumption.
Now, let's move to the conceptual framework of our study. This framework serves as a guide to understand the key factors influencing young consumer green product purchase decision, especially among university students in Kelantan. As shown in our conceptual model, the dependent variable is the green product buying decision, while there are 4 independent variables that we believe influence this decision. The first independent variable is supporting environmental protection. This refers to how much a consumer values and internalize the importance of protecting the environment. Consumers with a stronger commitment in this area are more likely to support green products. The second is the drive for environmental responsibility. This indicates the level of personal accountability a consumer feels toward making environmentally responsible choices. It reflects the moral motivation behind sustainable behavior. The third, we have green perceived benefit. This refers to how consumers perceive the benefit of green product, such as cost saving, improved health, or enhanced social image. If these benefits are clear and significant, they can positively influence purchase decision. And lastly, we examine green future estimation. This focuses on the consumer outlook on the future impact of the green product choices. It can reflect whether they believe the action today will make a meaningful difference in the future. These 4 variables, supporting environmental protection, drive for environmental responsibility, and green perceived benefit, and green future estimation, adapted from previous study by Misha and Lopez, each play a unique role in shaping the green purchasing behavior of national youth. By analyzing these variables, we aim to better understand and help bridge the gap between environmental intention and actual buying behavior among young consumers. This framework guides our data collection and analysis process as we test the influence of each factor on the green purchase decision. I think that's all from me. Now I will pass to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is HIDAYAH. For this study, we use a descriptive research design, which helps us understand and describe the factor influencing green product purchase decision among young consumers. According to Creswell 2014, a research design is basically a step-by-step plan that guides how data is collected and analyzed. The goal was to understand how these factors affect green product purchase decision. We collect data using a cross-sectional method, which means we gather responses from participants at one point in time. Our sample size was 200 respondents, mainly young consumers in Kota Baru. This design allowed us to collect relevant information efficiently and analyze patterns and relationships between variables. The population of the youth generation in Kota Baru is estimated to be around 188,701 individuals. Using the threshold Roscoe 1975 expect to collect 200 respondents are acceptable. We collect data using questionnaire via Google Form. Alright, this is the measurement of the variables.
Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is IZZATI binti Muhammad RAZALI and my matrix number is 2023644152. And today I will explain about the sampling technique that we use in this study. A total of 200 questionnaires were distributed to young consumers in Kota Baru through Google Forms using a non-probability convenience sampling method. This method was chosen due to its ease of access and efficiency in reaching the target respondents online within a limited time frame. And now I will present about the data analysis and the results. For the first one, missing data analysis. Missing data occurs when respondents do not answer all the questions in the survey questionnaire. This can happen for several reasons, such as misunderstanding the questions, not knowing the correct answer, or choosing not to respond. This is based on Sekaran and Bogi 2003. However, in this study, all 168 questionnaires were fully completed. No missing data were detected during the preliminary analysis. According to Hair et al. 2014, any questionnaire with less than 15% of the questions answered should be excluded from further analysis. Since no missing data were found, all 186 questionnaires were retained for subsequent analysis. Next, I will present about the duplications identification case. Duplications is a process of checking the case that has similar value with other cases. It happened when the present study keyed in the same case twice. The present study noticed a case which was like another case, thus it was decided to delete the case, leaving the present study with a total case of 147 for subsequent analysis. Next is outliers. Univariate outlier detections was conducted using standardized Z-scores for all items. The table presents the descriptive statistic for 31 variables with 147 valid responses. All items had minimum scores of 1 and maximum scores of 5, indicating that responses were within the expected range. That means the mean scores for all items range from 3.67 to 4.56, while the standard deviations range from 0.8 to 1.0. None of the Z-scores exceeded the threshold of -3 to +3, which suggests that no univariate outliers were detected in the dataset. Therefore, all 147 responses were considered valid and retained for further analysis. Next, the normality test. After completing the screening process, the assessments for normality of data distributions was performed to determine whether the scores for each variable are normally distributed or not. A normality test should performed by research before testing the path coefficients analysis due to extremely skewed or kurtosis data will increase the bootstrap standard error estimation, which will lead to underestimating the statistical significance of the path coefficients. For the study, normality assessment was carried out based on the value of skewness and kurtosis statistics. Data is normal if the value of skewness is less than 0.01 significance level or at 0.05 significance level. In addition, a kurtosis statistic between -7 to 7 is considered acceptable. The results of the normality test show that the data are normally distributed where all data is in acceptable range as presented. Our study, it shows that our both results for skewness and kurtosis are acceptable. Next is Harman singles factor. Test was conducted to assess the presence of common method variance CMV. The total variance explained table shows that 4 factors have eigenvalues greater than 1.0. The first factor accounts for 13.152% of the variance, which is well below the critical thresholds of 15%. Cumulatively, all extracted factors explain 54.0% of the total variance. Since no single factor dominates the variance, and the first factor does not exceed 50%, this indicates that common method bias is not a major concern in this study. For the finding confirms that CMV does not pose a significant threat to a validity of the results. I will explain about the correlations, Pearson correlations. A Pearson correlations analysis was conducted to assess the strength and directions of the relationships between the variables. Supporting environmental protections, drive for environmental responsibility, chief benefit, and green purchase estimation. The results reveal that all variables were positively and significantly correlated at the 0.01 level. Next, for the model of summary, it shows the coefficients of determinations R square, which provides information about the kindness of fit of the regressions model. R square is the percentage of the variance in the dependent variable that is explained by variations of independent variable. Based on the table, the R square value is 62%. It means the green product purchase can be explained by supporting environmental protections, drive for environmental responsibility, green perceived benefit, and green future estimations. The other 38% may be explained by other factors that are not included in this model. This R square is good because it's more than 0.6. Now I will explain about the path coefficients table. The table shows that green future estimations has influenced green product purchase among young consumers. The significance value for this variable is below 0.001, which is lower than 0.05. Therefore, there is a significant relationship between green future estimations and green product purchase. Next, supporting environmental protections does not significantly influence the green product purchase. The significance value for this variable is 0.892, which is higher than 0.05. There is no relationship between supporting environmental protections and green product buying. Next, drive for environmental responsibility also shows no significant influence the green product purchase. The significance value is 0.025, which is higher than 0.05. Lastly, green perceived benefit also shows no significance with green product purchase. The significance value is 0.097, which is higher than 0.05. Hence, there is no significant relationship between green perceived benefit and green product purchase.
Next, I will present you the review of findings for this research. To achieve all four research aims of this study, data were collected from young Malaysian consumers in Kota Baru who had knowledge about green product. In total, we gathered about 186 responses. After going through the data screening process, we identified and removed 39 duplicate cases. As a result, 147 responses were considered valid and suitable for analysis. No univariate or multivariate outliers were detected after cleaning the data. In the end, we used these 147 valid responses to test the four hypotheses developed in the study. This hypothesis examines the relationship between independent variables and the dependent variable, which is green product purchase intention.
In this context, we examine variables like green perceived benefit and green future estimation. Among the four predictors, only green future estimation significantly influence purchase decision, indicating that young consumers are driven more by future environmental concern than immediate benefits. This extends the consumption value theory by showing that future-oriented functional value, like the long-term impact of sustainable choice, are crucial motivators. We also contribute to the attitude behavior gap literature, showing that while variables like supporting environmental protection and drive for environmental responsibility had high mean score. They didn't predict actual purchase behavior. This reflects that positive environmental attitude do not always translate into action. A finding consistent with past studies like Albayrak 2013 and Surhanto 2021. By applying this theory in a Malaysian context, we reveal how cultural norms, policy like the National Green Purchasing Policy and local access to green product influence value formation. Notable, among youth, green future estimation, their perception of their long-term impact was a stronger predictor of action than general awareness. Practically, this study provides valuable insights for marketers, educators, and policymakers, aiming to promote green consumption among Malaysian youth. From our SPSS declaration, green future estimation emerged as the only significant predictor. This means that if young consumers believe their choice can impact the future, they are more likely to buy green products. So, marketers should design advertisements that emphasize long-term benefits such as reduced emissions, better health, or a cleaner future. While constructs like green first benefit, drive for environmental responsibility, and supporting environmental protection had high average score, they didn't influence behavior. This showed that awareness alone is not enough. To convert positive attitude into action, we recommend using motivational strategy such as improved eco-label, incentive, or personalized message. Government and NGOs should also create campaigns that connect personal purchase to global impact. Through social media, gamified experience, and storytelling, showing real-world change. Our study have several limitations. First, our sample was limited to 147 university students from Kota Baru, Kelantan, which may not represent all Malaysian, regional and urban-rural differences could affect environmental behavior. Second, we only studied the 18 to 34 age group, leaving out older consumers who may have different motivation or behavior patterns. Third, the use of self-reported survey via Google Form may introduce social desirability bias where participants overstate their environmental commitment. Finally, our study was cross-sectional, meaning we only captured behavior at a single point in time. As a result, we could attract changes or long-term trend in green consumption. To improve our finding, we propose the following for future research. First, broaden demography and geography. Include a wider sample from various state and rural areas to better understand regional behavior. Second, include multiple age groups. Study older cohort like Gen X or baby boomers to compare how age influence green buying behavior. Third, use longitude design. Conduct study over time to observe how behavior evolves, especially after events like campaign or environmental crisis. Number 4, adopt a mixed method approach. Combine quantitative and qualitative tools like focus group to explore why positive attitude don't always lead to action. Number 5, study mediating or moderating variables. Look into the role of brand trust, social influence, product affordability, and environmental literacy in shaping green decisions. Number 6, focus on specific product categories rather than general green product. Future research could target specific sectors like food, fashion, or technology to understand unique motivators. In conclusion, our study explored what drives young Malaysian consumers to purchase green products, focusing on 4 variables: supporting environmental protection, drive for responsibility, green perceived benefit, and green future estimation. Despite all constructs showing high environmental awareness, only green future estimation, they believe in a sustainable future, significantly influence purchase decisions. This indicates that long-term environmental concern is a stronger motivator than just general eco-consciousness. While our study has its limits, it highlights the need to understand the psychology and value-based factors behind sustainable consumption. We hope our finding will help stakeholders, from brand to policymakers, bridge the gap between green awareness and real-world action. That's all from us. Thank you.